The Man in the Mirror, Part 1. Alara had lived in her grandmother's old house her entire life. She loved its creaky floors and musty smell, but there was one thing she hated: the mirror in the master bedroom. It was an antique, large and ornate, with a strange dark finish on the frame. It didn't just reflect the room, it seemed to drink the light, making the space around it feel colder, heavier. Alara had tried to cover it with a sheet, but in the morning the sheet would be on the floor, folded neatly. She had tried to move it, but it was bolted to the wall. At night she swore she could see a faint outline of a man standing behind her reflection, always just out of focus. Part 2. One night, Alara's cat, Luna, began to hiss at the mirror, her fur on end. Alara turned to look, but there was nothing there. She picked up Luna, who was trembling, and tried to soothe her, but Luna kept her gaze fixed on the mirror. When Alara looked back, she saw it clearly: a man's face, gaunt and pale, staring out from the mirror. It was her reflection's face, but warped, the eyes black and hollow. The mouth slowly stretched into a wide, unnatural smile. A cold dread seeped into Alara's bones. She squeezed her eyes shut, but when she opened them, the face was gone. Part 3. The next day, Alara found old journals in the attic, written by her grandmother. They were filled with frantic, looping handwriting, detailing her obsession with the mirror. "He is there," one entry read. "He wants to come out. He says he knows what I fear most. He knows what I regret." The entries grew more and more unhinged, culminating in a final, barely legible scrawl. "I have to let him in. It's the only way. He promised he would make it so I never had to feel alone again." Alara dropped the journal, her hands shaking. She realized her grandmother hadn't died of old age. She had simply disappeared. Part 4. That night, Alara returned to the mirror. Her reflection was there, looking back at her. But as she watched, her reflection's hand lifted, pressed against the cold glass. Slowly, deliberately, the reflection's lips parted, and a voice, dry as autumn leaves, whispered from within the mirror, "I know what you fear most, Alara." Alara backed away slowly, her heart pounding. The reflection's hand began to push, and the glass warped and rippled like water. A single thin crack spider-webbed across the surface, and Alara knew that her time was running out. She was trapped in the house with an entity that had been waiting for a new home, and it was her turn to be its host. Cantina.